All right, this is Joe Dombrowski from Wrestlezone Weekly, Wrestlezone.com, with a major headline maker over the past couple of months. He's living his career on his own terms lately. He's been called Dashing. He's been called Stardust. He is Cody Rhodes. Cody, welcome to Wrestlezone Weekly.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I feel like the headlines I've been making, I hope are all fairly positive, but I'm glad we're making them.
Well, and let's talk about them, because when you left WWE, you made a list of goals and aspirations in your career. How many things have we checked off this list so far?
I mean, checked off the list, to be honest, I kind of put it in my mind, like, well, you got to do well in these matches to truly check them off the list. I can say we can check Chris Hero off the list, though that is something that will continue to go on. Chris Hero is turning out to be like Harley Race was to my dad for me. He's constantly at the door, and you're one elbow away from it being over. Chris Hero, I got incredibly eked one out against Kurt Angle, that being the one that incredibly large matchup, maybe the largest on the list. Battle of Los Angeles was also on the list. Trevor Lee was also on the list. I think some more. Am I forgetting any? Some of them have been signed. Personal ring announcer, check. I'll say fairly, though, the streamers thing, I put that on the list. I mean, that's the biggest hint you can offer a fan base. Hey, somebody throw streamers at me and make it look cool. And there have been streamers at various shows, but they've been, let's call them half-ass streamers, because one or two people got excited about it, but they forgot to fill in the rest of the bunch. So my last streamers thing was one just hit me in the side of the head in Bethany, Connecticut, and it just made me laugh. But I'm waiting. That one I can't check off until the full deal, till I deserve it, I guess. Okay, interesting criticism, something for our fans to take note of. It's not their fault. I got to earn it. I got to earn it.
Right. Now, talk about, obviously this is a completely different world than what you're used to, from WWE to the independents. What are some of the things, some of the major differences that stick out to you? Is there anything about WWE that the independents make you miss? And is there anything about the independents that do it better than WWE does?
I think the only thing I miss at WWE is Kevin Owens. I miss Kevin Owens. I miss Zack Ryder too. Cesaro. I could name a bunch of people right now. But without naming names, everyone who contacts me from WWE about what I'm doing, I tell them what I'm doing that night, and they wish they could be here. And that's a very sincere statement. What I'm doing it's enriching. It's enriching to. Last night I gotta test my legit ability, and also I gotta test my mouth a little bit. Like, I tell people that I have this skill set, that I'm damn good. If you go out there with Trevor Lee and aren't able to showcase that, then it's completely a farce. So it's an opportunity to do that. But then the same night, tonight, it's me and the Rock and Roll Express in a six-man that, gosh, is decades in the making, and probably no one ever would assume would happen, but it is happening. And so as far as the work, what I do for a living as a professional wrestler, I miss nothing about WWE and welcome everything that comes with the independents. We're in an arena, and I'm sure you've seen it, in the room next to us where the doctor is at checking people out for the commission. Right behind them is the Jim Crockett Promotions ring, and the spotlight from when Jim Crockett Promotions would come here. You don't find that at the PNC Center or some of the other Carolina buildings we run. So I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah, so it's that artistic freedom, and it's that emotional history that comes with it as well.
Yeah, it's like, what it's like, I say this a lot, when politicians want to get touch base with their constituents again, they go do those town halls. They go do grassroots stuff. These feel like town halls, man, and they've been really raucous and large crowd town halls, but good time.
All right. Now, you may be the only man in history, we'll have to look this up, who has the potential to appear at WrestleMania, a Bound for Glory for TNA, and a Ring of Honor Final Battle, all in the same year. That's a banner achievement. You've been announced for Ring of Honor Final Battle for quite some time. As we're recording this, the TNA news has just come to light. It seems that you're everywhere and anywhere, and normally one specific talent will only be tied to one national or globally reaching organization. Is Cody Rhodes trying to rewrite the rules here? Is he trying to be a traveling nomad? What's the ultimate goal here? You're trying to be a little bit of everywhere?
I'm trying, I think the former. I'm trying to rewrite the rules and do it in an honest way. Signing a long-term contract for me anywhere, it's flattering to be offered one, and a lot of companies do have lots to offer. There isn't just one game in town anymore with WWE. However, the list is the greatest indicator of what I'm attempting to do, because the list has names on it that are at Ring of Honor, that are at TNA, and that are at New Japan Pro Wrestling. What we are doing is trying to rewrite the rules. We're trying to do something. It's funny, you can say this, but in this case, it's actually real. Something nobody in wrestling has done yet, and be successful at it. Not just do it for doing its sake, but actually make that crossover exciting. I mean, could you imagine Ring of Honor versus TNA matches? Could you imagine some of the dream matches with the talent they have at both companies? Some sort of cross promotion. I'm clearly getting far ahead of myself, but I'd like very much for me to have the freedom to go wherever and people be responsive to it. And so far, everyone's been really wonderful about working together.
Are you trying to set a precedent to maybe some of your friends that may still be contracted, to show them that there may be greener pastures on the other side?
No, I think I'm just trying to. I got lucky because I'm the son of Dusty Rhodes, so I got to be Dusty Rhodes' son, and with that you get a lot of perks. People take it easy on you in the industry a lot, and I wanted to do something to give back with that name. And I think it's wild that Cody Rhodes appeared in Reseda, California at Battle of Los Angeles. Yeah. I think it's wild that I went from wrestling in front of 80-something thousand people in AT&T Stadium to doing some of the things that I'm doing today. But I want to give that what I've built, love it or hate it, I want to give it to every brand that wants me. And I've been very fortunate and flattered that a lot of folks do.
Now, we know that you were unhappy at your previous employer towards the end of that run. You had aspirations. You wanted to be a world champion. You wanted to prove yourself on a high level. Was there a specific moment in your WWE run? Maybe it was after the Intercontinental title reign. Maybe it was after Legacy. Is there a moment you thought to yourself, man, if they shoved that proverbial rocket ship up my rear end now, if they gave me the chance, I know I could be a bona fide main eventer instantaneously?
Well, I think wrestling fans, most of them seem to remember, but a lot of casual fans will be like, what's so special about Stardust? And that's frustrating, because I think I was as bona fide and as successful as you could be in WWE without winning the major prize right after the initial run with Legacy, where I was able to do the stuff with the Intercontinental title and be able to have 2 singles matches on WrestleMania, which I'm so grateful I had the opportunity to do. It was really simple. At that point, I was heading to getting the keys to the kingdom and was told I was going to, and maybe I banked on that assurance and didn't put the gas down like I should have for myself. People make a lot of excuses, and nothing's more annoying in wrestling than people who are delusional. I'm sure it was just as much my fault about what happened as it was WWE's. I wasn't concerned with waiting for a push. I was actively trying to find one and be one myself and do things, but it just we were trending downward and not upward, and I knew I could do better. So.
And you know what, I'll give you credit with the Stardust character as well, where even though you may have been not the most pleased, you came out there every single night. You looked like you were having the time of your life. You were doing everything you could to stand out and be different. You really embraced it, for better or worse. So I'll give credit to you for being a pro for that.
Thank you.
Moving onward a little bit. Now, you've been a little bit tight-lipped as far as some of the interviews you've done. Are we ever going to see a Cody Rhodes tell-all? And when I say that, I don't mean a salacious shoot interview. We're not looking for dirt. But you have a hell of a life, just in general. Are we going to ever get Cody Rhodes to sit down, whether it's a shoot format, a documentary, whatever, and just tell the story of being not just Cody Rhodes, but Cody Runnels?
I think maybe. It's really unfortunate when you do interviews today. You're just talking, and somebody asks you a question, you respectfully want to answer them, and the next thing you know, it gets clickbaited, and they only choose select questions, and they link them in an article, and that article, you'll read those comments, and man, you just sound, excuse my language, you come across sounding like a whiny bitch. So I don't ever want any fan to think I'm a whiny bitch.
Right.
So I try to avoid any type of interview that's longer than like 5 to 7 minutes, because it's just clickbaited all hell, and it's tough. I'm sure there'll be a more a format in the future that I'm able to kind of share some of the fun and share the journey, because it's been, over 10 years now since I was 15 years old, really since I was a little kid. And it had a lot of fun and a lot of crazy moments along the way.
Last question for you. You're making history now. You're showing a lot of balls. No other way to put it. Obviously, that's in your family genes. Is the voice of the dream still in the back of your head right now? And if so, what are you hearing? What's he telling you about these recent career moves and these chances you're taking?
It's tough, because I'm I'm weird in terms of, I'm not sure what happens when a person dies. I'm sure I'm not alone in that.
Right.
It's a questionable area, and I think I remember specifically he was my football coach when we were in middle school, and he was good enough to coach at the high school level. He just didn't have a degree, and everyone loved him. Everyone in Marietta still calls him coach. They didn't know him as the wrestler, and I think I hear a lot of his little things, his little catchphrases, like seize the moment and opportunities knocking, and I especially like when training, he was always big on doing one extra lap, one extra rep, just because the other guy didn't do it. And I hear a lot of his coaching advice more now than ever. It's really it's special. He hasn't gone away from me at all. I know his death, I think it's been over a year now. It feels like it was yesterday. So it's a situation I think some fans actually look at it and they're like, man, get over it already. And I can't say anything to that, because
right.
I wish things had been differently. I lost him before I was ready to lose him, and it's a whole process getting over something like that.
Yeah, and you've got him close to your heart, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Well, Cody, I really appreciate the time you've taken. And where can we find you on social media? Plug yourself.
Social media is so easy. It's at Cody Rhodes on Twitter, and then the link to my Facebook, which is just official Cody Rhodes. It's got the blue check. Make sure it has the blue check, because there's a lot of fake Facebooks. But it's all right there, Cody Rhodes.
There you go. Cody, I thank you for joining us, and I thank you for being a class act. Thank you for being a man's man and not somebody who's here for the paycheck and here to go through the motions. You're busting your ass, and any promoter out there would be glad to have Cody Rhodes on their professional wrestling.
Please include that I ate about 7 Altoids during the interview because I thought my breath was bad.
Is that a product placement?
It is indeed.
Okay, that works.
Altoids doesn't know about it, but they do now.
There we go. Cody Rhodes on Wrestlezone Weekly. One more thank you goes out to Cody Rhodes for being such a great interview and so giving of his time here on the Wrestlezone Weekly. Of course, you can find me online at joe-dombrowski.com. My schedule, my merchandise, my social media, it's all there. I will be appearing at World Classic Professional Big Time Wrestling Saturday, October 8th in Williamsport, Ohio. For more information on that, check out Bobby Fulton on Facebook. Search his name. You have any questions, if you're in the Williamsport, Ohio area, stop by the community gym or ask Bobby Fulton for some more information. And next week on the Wrestlezone Weekly Road Report, I'll be joined by our host, Nick Hausman's favorite professional wrestler of 2016. I'm doing this just for him, but he's going to squeal like a girl when I tell him that I will be joined by the one and only James Ellsworth next week on the program. We'll talk about how James Ellsworth wound up a cult hero on WWE television and which ECW original he owes his career to. All that's next week. Thank you for joining us.